Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has switched on the fasten seatbelt sign. If you are standing or walking about the cabin, we ask that you return to your seats, ensuring that your seatbelt is securely fastened. This is for your safety as well as the safety of your fellow passengers. Thank you. Good morning, and thank you for tuning again to our daily devotionals today. Marcel Williams here again with you. I represent the RevivalTime Assembly Church in San Fernando, where my senior pastors are Revs. Lloyd and Norma Hart. So we're almost at the end of this journey, and we learned about diversions yesterday. Today I want to touch on turbulence, something that can scare even the most experienced people who fly. Sometimes it can happen unexpectedly, called clear air turbulence, or it can be detected from the cockpit by radar. The ideal situation would be to know ahead of time. However, sometimes we plan and it just happens. What is making your journey uncomfortable or causing you concern, and how do you deal with it? Was that shaking, boy? Was that shaking? Hey, Olia! Normally, the mild turbulence we know how to maneuver walking about, and how to stand and not lose our balance. The more severe cases though, we are often advised to take our seats, even as crew, and we have no choice but to wait it out. Safety is of utmost priority. On my journey to getting hired, we had weeks of training and various checks we had to pass. As mentioned before, the days were long and a lot of information was being given daily. Not to mention, the very next morning, we had exams based on what we learned the day before. It was rough. There are six, boy? How much did they say it was? Four. It have 1, 2, it's 10. There were days I got home just mentally and physically exhausted. However, I had to study pages upon pages for the very next day. Not to mention, they wanted our answers verbatim, and the pass marks were 90%. Study to show thyself approved unto God. 2 Timothy 2:15. I feel I had been approved 5 times over. I remember having a table to learn, and for some reason, the information just wasn't being absorbed. That night, I cried, thinking, I really can't do this. But there was no going back now. I had already sent in my resignation to my now former job. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Psalms 30:5. I had no choice but to hold on to God's word in those times. It's only in those moments you truly realize just how true God's word is, not just for motivation, but for life. When we set out to accomplish something, it can get bumpy. You may have to change your stance or even sometimes sit down until it's time to rise again. That challenge you're facing would give you experience and knowledge for later on to deal with even bigger shakings if you allow it to. Let it work in your favor because joy and success are waiting for you, so don't give up. Wait a second. So you listening to me all this time and you haven't subscribed as yet? Press that subscribe button now. I don't know what you're waiting on. Press it now. Right next to it, press the notification bell to get notifications whenever we have new content uploaded to this channel. Much appreciated. The difference with God as your pilot, He knows and sees all that lies ahead because He is omniscient. There's no clear air turbulence to catch Him off guard. It's also an opportunity to develop yourself and find new ways to handle the shaking. What works for others may not work for you. Growing up, we are told to learn something, you have to say it at least 20 times. For me, try 50 times. I'm sure my family got tired of hearing me saying some things I was learning being repeated over and over. However, it was what worked for me. Driving to training, I even had recordings of things I had to learn for exams. Find something that works for you and run with it. It may not stop the turbulence, but it'll keep you moving towards that goal. We're going in for the landing tomorrow, so I hope that you tune in to hear how things turned out for graduation. See you tomorrow.